Zimbabwe is a country that celebrates a wide spectrum of cultures. Knit together with a captivating historical record, abundant flora and fauna, and picturesque landscapes of the country, these cultures make the threads from which Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage is woven into a multicolored blanket which provides warmth and hospitality to the many people who visit the country. Chipise, Chikombedzi, Mahusekwa, Karoe, Rusape, Marondera. These are just a few names of places in the huge landscape that forms Zimbabwe. But these places and many others that are just as stunningly beautiful in their physical features and exciting displays of cultural diversity in the form of arts and crafts, song and dance, and other forms of cultural expression mask some horror stories that have their roots in cultural practice. This is Chipise, a remote rural community in Zimbabwe, Southern Africa. The young girl you see here is Chipo. She is 4 years old and, with the innocence of a 4-year-old, she is dancing to music which is part of a ritual that will end her childhood this very day. Chipo has been chosen to be the wife of an avenging spirit, and from now on must serve the needs of this entity until she either dies or grows older and is replaced by another young girl.
So chiri mfuko zukova muthu weubulya wanga vomakhulu kuku kana ringa kutsianga vaitori mwana alwale vatu richifa mudhini yawo nenepo ravara swiko rinyage ng'anga ifembe afala ni mudhini wacho iri budzori wobulya wa muthu wakale kunyagulifiwa ravya rau atanyaga ng'anga yadha yafemba mudhini ravya rapata chindu chourine chiri kachapata chona mwaribulela kholomu raita aita zvothe achiita na mishonga yawo yothe arivofera ravona uri zvawero ufa ngaizo zvitu zvinofiraro ari ukonyaga kana uri chelede kana uri kholomu ramufa kholomu dzavakadzadzira nadzo dhangani lawo yenepo ramupa na musidzana ulani.
This is an example of the many harmful cultural practices that blemish the multicolored canvas which is Zimbabwe's rich cultural heritage. And we traveled around the country to unearth and highlight some of these practices. Beneath all the local color and celebration lie the issues of questionable initiation rites, child marriage, forced virginity testing, so-called widow cleansing, wife inheritance, property grabbing, and disinheriting of non-compliant widows and their children. These and other cultural practices result in a host of social ills mainly affecting women and girl children. And since most communities in Zimbabwe are patriarchal, the voices of these women and girls are usually silenced. The seemingly harmless initiation ceremony practiced in Chikombedzi purports to teach young girls how to conduct themselves in an honorable way in society.
Initiation means you are no longer a girl, you are now a woman. So what normally happens when they graduate, they cease to be girls, they become women. So one challenge which we face is they get married when they are still very young.
hongo tingazviti tinoabuse vana kana kuti chichi asi zvaibatsira itsika dzaibatsira kuti munhu arambe achingozvichengetedza.
This is Blessing from Mahusekwa Rural District, about 120 kilometers from Harare, who, at age 14, was married to a man 3 times her age, and when her husband died, she was inherited by his brother, who was 72 years old.
Mukadzi chakamba abuda mbakia doni kunzi. Amwa chibasunga babmbeda panga garamba tanga kutokikisana chiturizane. Sitanza ndaichemena kwambwa bata mambo anpakira zvinhu vai mukana.
ndakazotomuroora ndakutambudzikira mwana ekungasiwa nemunin'ina wangu ndati nise kunoku kune ndimo blessing angangoya akaita seiwo akarimawo kana aranga kuti arime agutse mhuri yake naye agariwawo zvakanaka handakuziva kuti ndiri kutadza.
Some of these harmful cultural practices are directly related to material acquisition, as was the case of Tsitsi from Huyo village in Karoi. Tsitsi was physically, emotionally, and psychologically abused by her husband's family after his death because his brothers wanted to inherit her as a wife in order to take the property and cash that Tsitsi and her husband had worked for.
Stage ndakasiwa naye ndine murume wangu ndiri kuona ndichikwanisa kupusha ndichikwanisa kuchengeta mwana wangu.
At age 16, Martha, who lives in Rusape, was raped by her uncle and thus fell pregnant. Her uncle then paid a few cows to her family and, as far as he was concerned, they were married and he started demanding conjugal rights.
Kurutodzi numbu yake apana nomuritiraba gaende aritire numbu yake ega imhandara kai ukakuta ntarisa ichi mabonzo isimari yacho atina apa katadza kusununga daidza ambulance isimari yacho atina ngadzokere kune muridzi.
These are just 4 of the 13 stories that will unfold in this documentary series. As you follow our travels around the country, you will also hear the story of Fadzi from Marondera, who, because of poverty, got married at the age of 14.
Abugolo zvanga singangoita ngogara ndisingaenda kuchikoro pasina chandiri kuita ndakatongona kuti zvitori nani.
The practice of widow cleansing will be revealed as a physical and psychological burden upon widows.
Umongo ane 5 years afa avakuwasha ndokuenda kune vabereki vangu ndokukumbira kuti chivanhu handiri munochiziva here toiti pane mudzimai wedu pekumusha kuvabereki vangu vakati aiwa izvo chivanhu tinochiziya musungirire ndobva wandisungira tambo muhuro.
tobhathabhisa tambo iyo kana ikanga yabva within a year zvatirairidza kuti mukadzi uyu akura.
The goal of this documentary series is not just to be an expose of harmful cultural practices in Zimbabwe, but also to amplify the voices of the victims of such practices. Our main objective is to get communities and legislators actively involved in making these practices a thing of the past.